Welcome back to the Stormcast, everyone. This is the podcast where we talk all things TABC sports. My name is Eli Achber, and I'm here with my co-host, Owen Glickman. And before we get into it, we are pleased to partner with Hustle and Heart Sports. Hustle and Heart is an elite athletic company designed to encourage and support athletes in reaching their goals. On June 22nd through the 24th, they'll be partnering with the HAL PTA to host a 3-day basketball camp for boys from 3rd to 8th grade, which will feature experienced Yeshiva League and Hustle and Heart coaches. Other events include the end of summer girls sleepaway camp and the boys sleepaway camp at La Vie, where 5th through 12th graders can learn from top basketball coaches, compete with Yeshiva League players, and develop friendships for life. Hustle and Heart will also be running a girls varsity all-star game on March 21st at SAR, where Team Yeshiva League will take on national Jewish players. And they will also be running a middle school girls Yeshiva League all-star game at Yeshiva Ha'atid on May 17th. And to round things off, Hustle and Heart just finished their first girls seminary league, where TVA beat MMY in the finals. Once again, thanks to Hustle and Heart for not only making this podcast happen, but also for all of these great events. To sign up for any of these, click the link in the description of the video. Oren, how you doing today?
Well, a great plug for Hustle and Heart on this snow day in Bergen County. Doing good. Enjoying my day off, as I hope you are too. We'll see what tomorrow brings as well. And because if we're able to get off tomorrow, the day we get back, playoff action's right around the corner.
Exactly. So before we jump into that, we actually have a very special interview today with Nate Cutler. So he started the ice hockey team, cold day, so his moment to thrive. So cut there right now. We have a very special guest with us today. We have one of the stars of the ice hockey team, Nate Cutler. Nate Cutler, how are you doing today on the snow day?
It's pretty cold, but it's good.
Okay.
That's what a typical ice hockey player should say about the weather.
Okay. So, Nate, if you want to just start us off, telling the listeners how the ice hockey team is doing right now. Ice hockey is probably not the most followed team, so if you want to just talk about, let people know how the ice hockey team is doing.
So the ice hockey team's been off to a great start this year. We have some great guys on the team this year. There's really a lot of talent, and we have a big game coming up to determine whether or not we'll be in the playoffs. We don't know when that game will be yet, as the snow kind of messed with the plans a little bit. But the program's really, over the past 2 or 3 years, gone up. There's been a lot more interest. The talent's there. The interest from the school has been there. Mr. Glickman, OG himself, has been very helpful in helping the program as a whole.
Yeah, so as Ellie might have said, ice hockey might not drop hits the way other teams do. So, if you were seeing a random kid in the halls, what would you want to tell them about the TABC ice hockey team? What would you want them to know about you guys as
We
a program?
also, this year, thank God, have a very good coach in Mr. Jeremy Tuck. He's been great for the program as a whole and very helpful. Isaac Forgash, who also happens to coach many other TABC sports teams, has been very helpful at running many of the practices that we have this year. That's really about it.
How do you think this is kind of what Oren said is how do you think you could market maybe ice hockey a little better? Just obviously there's no way to but to get more interest among kids. How do you think we could do that, as in both from your perspective and from an athletics perspective?
I think from my perspective, we've really put a great product on the ice this year. I think guys coming out to the games makes the games better. I think we've seen it in floor hockey. We see when players make big hits, people like it. People love to watch that. But in an ice hockey game, you have 20 of those a game, and people can really enjoy seeing that. I think we should market more the physicality of the sport, almost the excitement that any moment something can happen. And I think floor hockey is very different. Floor hockey is a great program as a whole, but I think ice hockey, it's more of an experience going to a game.
I think we kind of saw that a little bit with Frisch when they were in the finals of the Kelly Cup. The result didn't go their way, but I think we saw a big fan turnout for them, and people were really into it. So yeah.
Oren, do you have any?
Do you have any final thoughts on ice hockey? Do you have any opinions on how you think the rest of these fall team playoff runs will turn out besides you guys? Any thoughts on the gold medal victory yesterday? You have the floor.
Owen, we can't hear you, man.
Okay, so
Hello.
basically, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Hach.
Okay, so what Owen just said is that if any fun, floor is yours. We talk about how do you think how you guys think you're going to fare in the playoffs? What are your thoughts on the other TABC teams in the playoffs currently? Thoughts on the gold medal victory yesterday? Floor is yours. Talk about.
I think we'll start by addressing the elephant in the room, the gold medal game. I think it was really exciting, and I think ice hockey as a whole in America is going to have an uptick from that goal. I think it was also a lot more exciting for me as somebody who is a New Jersey Devils fan and a Jewish hockey player, seeing a goal scored by nonetheless a New Jersey Devil and somebody who happened to have a bar mitzvah, which it's really he almost made a Kiddush Hashem out there effectively by scoring that goal. Like people respect Jewish people a little bit more now, I think. I think in the playoffs, we really have a chance when we make it. I think the squad's very good this year. I think we have some really good defensemen, some really good forwards. I think we've got breakout guys in Sholoff and Rothwax this year. I think the defensemen of Schwabel and Mandel, it's a great defensive pairing. Both guys can really change the game in one play. I think JV and varsity floor, I think they've both got real shots at winning it all. I think Thursday night, it's a big game for JV floor hockey. Everybody should be there. No excuses. It's going to be a great game. I think we will win. I think it'll be a 4-0 victory.
Wow.
I think JV ball could also have a real chance. And I'd like to see what varsity ball can do going into Sarachek.
Okay, Nate Cutler, really thank you so much for joining the Stormcast, and thank you for all that you do for ice hockey. Look forward to hopefully you guys making the playoffs and maybe making a big run and all your success in the future.
Thanks, Hach.
See ya. Enjoy.
Oren is in Teaneck, New Jersey on the Fan. Let's get it, Oren.
Hey, Keith, how's it going?
It's going well.
Can I give a quick shout out before I ask my question?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my boys at TABC, the only school in Teaneck right now with school tomorrow. Hopefully that changes in the next few hours. Fingers crossed.
My guys. Shout out to all the guys over there. It's been a while. I came and spoke at that. I don't even know when I spoke at that school with you guys, but that was a highlight of that year. I think that was the year that the Yankees lost the World Series. Yeah, so 2024.
Yeah, sore subject, Keith.
For all of us, man. A lot of Yankee fans in there. And I think I was wearing my Yankees World Series hat and just didn't get it done.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the gold medal game yesterday. A lot of people are saying that this is bigger than the Miracle on Ice. Would you agree with that assessment or no?
I think potentially it can be because anything that happens now is bigger. More people can see it. More people watched it at that time. More people are talking about it on social media. It can grow legs. The story has snowballed. AI can make fake things from the story. People have created all these other things. This could have a bigger impact and be bigger, especially depending on what comes after this. Like, what does this do for the NHL? What does this do for the players? I was watching something. These guys talking puck. They said Jack Hughes just made himself $20 million in endorsements. Like, let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question that the NHL is going to see an uptick as a result of this tournament.
The Devils are. I already know the Devils are selling more tickets, and they're going to get a quick
Wednesday night against the Sabres. Like everyone wants to go to Prudential now.
I know it's down the shore night. I was there for the last one. I don't think I'll make it this time around, but there should be a good crowd for Jack Hughes' return.
Yeah, awkward being a Jersey guy rooting for the Rangers.
And there are New York guys that root for the Devils. I know they try to act like that doesn't happen, but there are guys in New York. My boy Dan is a New Yorker that roots for the Devils.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Keith. Have a good night. Let's go Storm.
Let's go Storm. Yeah, that was a good time at TABC. I always screw up the name. So I went and spoke. No, it's TABC, Torah Academy of Bergen County. I went and spoke to their media class. It's on my YouTube channel if you could find it now. I went and spoke to their media class about, how I did it. Coming from where I came from, playing sports, getting a scholarship, going to college, figuring out what I wanted to do in college, getting out of college. It was crickets for me, navigating New York City, quitting jobs, trying things, getting to WFAN, and now I'm back out here figuring it out again. Let's go to Arkansas all the way.
Okay, Oren. So we had two big games this week and two big victories. We'll start it off, I guess, on the varsity side with varsity hockey. Varsity hockey marched into after going down 1-0. Jake Rubenstein scores 2 goals. Aaron Brothman scores 2 goals. Shlomo Wanger scores a goal in a very, very chippy game. TABC survives, wins 5-2, pretty convincing fashion. And will be most likely, barring some upset by Hank over SAR. Well, we know Hank is known to upset some teams, but
We've fallen victim to that maybe once or twice.
A few times I can think of. Recent memory. So, Oren, what were your thoughts on this varsity hockey game? And maybe we expect the varsity hockey game to be late next week. So, if we don't record then, what are the keys to victory over at this SIR team?
Yeah, great questions. I think a lot of people are thinking like, oh wow, TABC should not have gone this far. But I got to be honest, even though we were the lower seed playing at half, I never had a doubt about that game. I always thought we were going to go in and win that game. And now the fact that this team is in the semifinals 2 years after not making the playoffs altogether, they should be very proud of what they've accomplished. So obviously we want to get as far as possible, but we've definitely overachieved, and hopefully, we'll see how it plays out. SR and Hank were actually originally supposed to play Monday night, but due to the snow, they got snowed out, so now they're playing Wednesday night. And that semifinal game will likely take place after Purim. And listen, we know both teams extremely well. Hank, we hosted this year during the Winter Classic. We were victorious in that one. SAR, we went 0-2. Listen, there's no way to sugarcoat it. SAR will definitely be the heavy favorites in this one, should we go out to SAR in the semifinals. But their rink is very unpredictable. A bounce one or two the other way, and it can go in our favor. And you have someone like Catler who knows the surroundings very well, having played for SAR's freshman year. So, yeah, SAR will definitely be the favorites, but I don't think they're better. I don't think they're supremely better than we are, if that makes sense. Jack Linhart's definitely the best player in the league, so it'll go down to neutralizing him and then finding our own opportunities on the other end.
Yeah, and I think people. I think I'll just elaborate what you were saying. People aren't giving this TBC team enough credit. One in two senses. One of where they've gotten, meaning this team. It's not possible that this team was going to make the semifinals, and here we are. They dominated after the second best team in the other conference. So that's nothing to be. Obviously, our conference is stronger than the other conference, but it's still nothing. It's not. It's still something to be proud of. And secondly, people forget the factors that went into both of these SAR games. For one, TBC hosted SAR, lost 3-2, only lost by 1, and we're tied late in the third period there. This team put up a very, very strong fight. Eitan Adler obviously sealed the deal there, but this game it should be it could be a tighter game than people are giving credit for. And then even when we went on the road to SAR, we did lose 5-3. But people forget two things. One,
and I think two of SAR's goals were on shorthanded goals.
Two of their goals are on shorthanded goals, which obviously that's something they need to work on. But also, Jaden LaFell was not playing in that game. He only played the power play, if I remember correctly. And Marty Teitelman did not play, I don't think, the last two periods. So
right.
We'll see if Marty is back if he's back, he's looking better. I don't know. It's not obviously not our decision.
The fact that we dominated after without Marty should give us a lot of confidence, heading into the semifinals.
Yeah, and this team, I think this game against SAR could be a lot closer than people are giving credit for. This team has looked progressively better throughout the season. Their first games against First and SAR were bad, and their second games against both teams, they played them really, really well. And of course, both games were at home, but I think it's also a factor of this team finding their footing as a team. There's been line changes. There's been different people finding their spot. Jake Rubenstein's looked incredible as the year went on. He's really become probably the best scorer on this team. Scored 4 goals.
The evolution of Brothman, too.
Exactly. This team just looks a lot better than when it did in the beginning of the year. And I think, of course, SAR are going to be the favorites, but I think people are not giving this varsity hockey team enough credit. And I think we will be heavy underdogs, but I could definitely see a world where we walk into SAR and beat them. We did that last year also to stay alive in the playoffs. JV hockey was severe underdogs going into SAR to win in order to make the playoffs, and they did. They beat SAR. That SAR team was a very, very good team.
But then on the other side, we have to talk about the possibility of hosting Hank in the semifinals, and we have to talk about the fact that it would be the same exact type of situation as last year, where we would go in as favorites, and we can't take that for granted, that scenario as well.
Yeah, this Hank team is very talented. The young team, but last year the entire team was nearly seniors and like Hackle basically, and Hackle is now one of the better players in the league, and he's a junior. And they have a lot of very impressive freshmen and sophomores as well, along with other impressive juniors. I don't think the team has a single senior, and so yes, we're going to go in and in the off chance that
We host.
yes, in the off chance that we host, I don't think Hank is not to be taken lightly. So yeah, I think that really does it. That's the percent that we have to go in varsity hockey is that if we go in against SAR, we're going to be big underdogs. I think that honestly plays to our advantage. And if we go in against Hank, we're going to be big favorites. I think plays against us. And we're going to have to come in with the proper mindset either way.
Yeah. That game will now be on Wednesday night. I'm sure we'll be watching it closely. Well, hopefully the JV basketball semifinal game ends before that game starts, due to the late start. And and then we'll have a nice pour-in, and then we'll be ready to go, whether we're traveling to Riverdale, get Carlos and Gabby's pregame, or whether we're hosting here at the Weather Center in Teaneck.
Yeah, so we'll be tuning into that game. There's a lot of big Yeshiva League games, not even the TABC are playing it. So we'll be tuning into all those. Moving on to staying on the hockey side, but moving to the JV side of things, JV hockey will be hosting Frisch this week on Thursday. We're recording this on Monday, so Thursday night we'll be hosting Frisch, and the only game that TBC did not win this year. And Noah Schwabel looks to be either out, or even if he is playing, he's not going to be 100%, as Zerbakan said in their interview with him. Oren, how are you feeling about this game against Frisch? And I know we've talked about this a little bit in text, but never said that out loud. This feels like eerily similar to last year's semifinals, but the reverse.
It's exactly the same as last year, but the reverse. Frisch were the top seed last year. We went into Frisch as huge underdogs, and we pulled off the upset. There's a real disadvantage to being the top seed and getting that bye and not having played competitive hockey in over a month. And now our JV team will be, will be in that role as the top seed hosting Frisch on Thursday night by us. And Frisch will be very motivated. They're gonna remember that game for a while now heading into Thursday. It's gonna be their motivator. And I think the first 5-10 minutes of that game will really dictate what direction this game goes in. Frisch is a lot better than their record indicates because, I think they had like a bad loss to MTA in overtime where they had a lot of guys out for the flu. And the fact that this was the only team that we were not able to beat in the regular season, it just seems so unfair to get that top seed and your reward in the semifinal game is a tough Frisch team. I think Svika will have them ready. They have one more practice before the big game. And something tells me that Schwabel's going to do everything he can to play in this game. And, we've seen tough athletes do it all the time. We saw Lindsey Vonn do it recently in the Olympics.
I mean, that's a bad muscle. We don't want Schwabel to.
Right. No. God forbid. We don't want that. But I was just trying to make an overall point.
Mahomes did his ankle a couple years ago.
Sure.
I was trying to make an overall point that pro athletes out there do it all the time, and
Mahomes did it 2 years ago with his ankle. Freddie Freeman did it with his ankle.
Right, Patrick Mahomes.
Those are better examples because they actually succeeded.
Right,
Freddie Freeman broke his leg and then hit a walk-off grand slam, won World Series.
Lindsey Vonn was more recent, and Noah can tell you that I've been in a very Olympic mood recently. So, but I'm hoping for the best. And if Noah's not able to go, we obviously wish him speedy recovery, and it's next man up with either Noam Adler or Zach Winkler even.
Yeah. So we spoke a little bit more about this JV hockey team with Rabbi Condor. I kind of had a very great analysis of this team, so I think we could leave it off with JV hockey for there. We're all looking forward to Thursday night. Pack the pit. Hopefully, we have a great crowd.
Shout out to Alan. Shout out Alan Rosner.
Shout out Alan Rosner, previous guest. And moving on to the final team alive in the playoffs, we have JV basketball, another team that we discussed in our interview with Rabbi Khan. JV basketball is going to come in as probably favorites against Hillel. They split in the regular season, but TBC won at home, and this game will be at home. And hopefully we'll have a big pit. This team looks like themselves. But I think we'll talk a little bit about their win over DRS. And honestly, in that game, TBC did not look their best. Ezra Adams was 2 for 10 in the first half before hitting that massive 3. Tony Stein was not particularly efficient. Again, these are not hits on these guys. These are the best 2 players on the team. They were playing inefficiently, yet we still had a decisive win. Honestly, I don't want to shout at the defense. I think Josh Neese had like 5 steals. Eitan Barron might have like 5 blocks, something ridiculous like that. And Ezra Adams really shot down Donnie Gast, only scored 6 points and not a single point in the second half. He's an all-star. He's a real star. So really just a shout out to the defense. And even with the offense struggling, which honestly gives me a little more confidence against Hill that even when the players are struggling, we can still win. So, Oren, what are your thoughts going in? What are your thoughts on the DRS game and going into the Hillel game?
I mean, the fact that Shai Bikel's back and fully ready to go is really clutch for this team. They definitely missed his presence in the Montreal tournament. You're right about everything you said. I would just keep in mind that I think that Adams' heave at the buzzer to change the halftime locker room lead from 10 to 13 really made a difference. I think it really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Today we are pleased to partner with Hustle and Heart Sports. Hustle and Heart is an elite athletic company designed to encourage and support athletes in reaching their goals. On June 22nd through the 24th, they'll be partnering with the HAL PTA to host a 3-day basketball camp for boys from 3rd grade to 8th grade, which will feature Yeshiva League and Hustle and Heart coaches. Other events include the end of summer girls sleepaway camp and the boys sleepaway camp at La Vie, where 5th through 12th graders can learn from top basketball coaches, compete with top Yeshiva League players, and develop friendships for life. Hustle and Heart will also be running on March 21st a girls varsity all-star game, where Team Yeshiva League will take on National Jewish Stars at SIR just across the river. And also, they'll be hosting a middle school girls Yeshiva League all-star game at Yeshiva Ha'atid on May 17th. And to round things off, Hustle and Heart just finished their first girls seminary league, where TVA beat MMY in the finals. Once again, thanks to Hustle and Heart for not only making this podcast happen, but also for all these great events. To sign up for any of these, click the link in the description of the video.
And I think DRS got on a little bit of a run, but even when DRS was clawing back a little bit, it never seemed like the game was really in jeopardy. Now you play Hillel, a team that you've already played twice, where you split. A team that you know really well, especially since they were in the Montreal tournament too. So I think the guys really got to know each other a lot better that weekend. And I think this is really a type of game where you point to the pit as the sixth man. And, that's what carries TABC to victory and takes them to the championship game at YU a week from Sunday.
Yeah, I don't want to encourage. We played Hill earlier in the season, and the pit was rocking. That would have been one of the best pits of the year. And you see these JV kids don't know how to really play with such a big crowd, especially Hillel kids who, right? JV is not used to a crowd, and that's just the way it works. And when they first time playing in front of a crowd, it just messes with their head. We saw this with Frisch when they play at the ABC. I'm not saying right. I'm not saying everything the pit does is fine. I'm just saying that in general, having 100 fans screaming and chanting is very intimidating for a young freshman or sophomore who it's the first time doing it. So Kilo is probably going to be better prepared after last time. Last time they looked a little unprepared for it, but still, this is a.
By the way, I think Hillel will bring fans from Deal. I think they'll have some fans.
I'm sure they will. Yeah. Shout out to DRS for having 3 fans the other night. They were loud when DRS went up 2-0 and they had the ball. They were loud for that minute. Like I'm not being sarcastic. Like they were actually loud for a decent minute or two. And so I think TABC goes in as favorites. I think you would agree with that. But
yeah,
again,
I think Hillel would even tell you they're coming in as the underdogs.
Yeah, but this is not a game that to be taken lightly by any means. Just because this JV basketball team has basically been a buzzsaw since that second loss. Does not mean this game should be taken lightly at all. And hopefully everyone shows up to the pit. And going into MDY, I mean, we're assuming it's MDY. Shout out Zach Tuckman. Unfortunately, his JV ball team got eliminated by North Shore, but his varsity basketball team is still alive, who defeated North Shore, and now we're on to play SIR, which should be electric. We'll see if we can make it. Maybe Stormcast trip to the first SIR game.
Oh, that'd be great to have back-to-back finals, and Zach Tuckman will be with us for the JV championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't the first SR game during our TBC first game?
I don't think
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
that's
is?
correct.
Oh, I didn't
Both
know
varsity basketball semifinal games are on Thursday.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, that's what Jacob was texting about.
In JV, Mag and David North Shore play Thursday. So,
so we're missing a lot of games.
JV, hopefully our JV boys will go out and support our JV hockey boys, and we'll be paying attention to that game in Brooklyn on their smartphones.
Yes, exactly, because MDY just looks incredible.
OG, you got to win first. You can't be thinking ahead. You got to win first.
Right, that's true. One game at a time.
Yeah, true. It's gonna be after that game. There's one more shout out. I want to shout out the boys who made the All-Star team. Jonathan Faber made a second All-Star game. Made it as a sophomore, now making it again as a senior. And want to shout out Tony Stout and Ezra Adams, who both made back-to-back All-Star games. Shai McCall snubbed from the All-Star game. Shout out Zach Tuckman.
Zach Tuckman actually, he feels that Shai Bikel is an all-star.
That's what I was referencing.
Yeah.
Okay, Oren, any final other sports on talk about? Maybe varsity basketball, Sarachek for a second?
There's really not much to talk about. The team has been taking a little bit of a break. They'll resume practices. They were supposed to actually resume their first practice tonight, but that doesn't appear to be happening now. And they should be getting their seed, very soon. And we'll see who they play in the first round in Sarachek.
Do Sarachek seeds come out after the championship? Or
yes,
before?
after. I mean, the seeds are probably going to be determined before, but they're not going to be announced until after the championship.
Okay, I mean that would be kind of rough. I really hope that just a question. I mean, I don't know if you know the people that make the Sarachek seeding, or maybe you do. Do you know if let's say the 1 and 2 seeds are I don't know, DRS Frisch, and that's the final. Let's say DRS is the 1 and Frisch is the 2, and then Frisch beats DRS.
Nothing you can do about it. Then what's done is done.
Nothing
they have to work. They have to work with marketing and they have to work with the marketing and communications department. They have to get out the catalogs and brochures. It is what it is, my man.
That's crazy. So, you know that if the team who wins the championship is not the 1 seed, they're gonna be a little salty and going into it. But okay, any other thoughts on this snow day, Oren?
Yeah, well, our producer is getting into my ear, and it's good that I recognized the chat and you didn't. But I believe we have another sponsor. We have Tikva, correct?
Yes. So, good point. So shout out Ruben Goldberg has a great business called Tikva Wear. Tikva Wear it's a clothing brand built around one simple idea: hope for the inevitable coming of Mashiach. Tikva means hope in Hebrew, and the brand's inspired by the idea that we're currently living in the footsteps of Mashiach. It's about staying connected, staying aware, and remembering that everything is part of Hashem's plan. Tikva focuses on clean, minimal streetwear with a simple message. Nothing too loud, just comfortable, everyday pieces that look good and carry meaning. The goal is to make clothing that people actually want to wear, just something simple, real, and meaningful. Click the link in the description or go to tikvawear.com to buy some of their merch. And we will do, I guess, our Tikva Player of the Week, or Tikva Wear Player of the Week. Who do you think was the star of this past week, Oren?
Oh, it's easy for me, Shlomo Wenger.
Yeah, so if you want to elaborate why.
The fact that Marty was out, that meant more minutes for Shlomo, and Shlomo delivered by all means. So
yeah, and also,
my player of the week is Shlomo Wenger, varsity hockey against Hafter.
And also, it was a very, very chippy game, and Shlomo responded. Obviously, nothing too bad, but he responded with killing a lot of times, and on the power play, he was just very, very impressive all around. So shout out to Shlomo Wenger. I actually want to give mine to someone might not typically thought of a player of the week this week, but I'm going to give mine to Ezra Adams, just because he led this team. One, his defense on Donnie Gas was incredible. That we circled before the game. You said there's one name you need to know on DRS, Donnie Gas. Donnie Gas did not score a single point in the second half. He had 4 points in the first quarter, 2 points in the second quarter, were shut down the entire game. Ezra Adams was on him the entire game and shut him down beautifully. And secondly, he dealt with a lot of adversity in the first half. Unfortunately, he was not hitting shots. He was 2 for 10 from the field. But in the second half, he turned it on. I think he only had 7 points in the first half and finished with, I think, 17 or something like that. And 18, yeah. He was a lot more efficient in the second half. He was still a leader throughout. And I want to give it to him for leading this team through one of the toughest tests they faced this year. So on to Hillel we go. Thank you Tikva Wear and Hustle and Heart for sponsoring the Stormcast today. And check out our episode with Rabbi Khan that we recorded. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have a great day.